This video contains full spoilers for the My Hero Academia manga. Not that Murasaki cares, but I do, so proceed with caution.
Horikoshi, a man who has created arguably one of the biggest names in modern day shonen, because everyone and their grandma knows My Hero. Okay, we all know. Even though nowadays it's typically known for something else, it's been a good 10 years for MHA, because now the story is over. On August 5th, 2024, My Hero Academia's weekly serialization in Shonen Jump had come to an end, and the ending wasn't the best. I know that most shonen anime get pretty shitty endings at the end of their series, but this was a fat middle finger to anyone that was invested in the series. Deku defeats the most powerful being and saves the entire fucking planet, sacrificing his dreams and powers for the sake of everyone else, and going through some of the most immense physical pain that anyone has gone through in the entire show. Yeah. All that hard work for everyone to forget the next day, no one gives a shit, and he retires and turns into a fucking teacher. Wow. Fucking wow. But to rub salt deep into the wound, he eventually loses contact with his classmates, and he is forced to watch them gradually rise in the ranks as heroes as he literally marks test papers. All for one for all for nothing. What was the point? But there was a little saving grace at the end with everyone from 1A chipping in to give him this fucking suit as they all jump in unison, and then it just fucking ends. Reading that, I felt like I just got spat on. That was just depressing. Deku saying he's lonely, falling on the floor like this with no powers, looking up at All Might. This is not a happy ending. And the suit at the end was supposed to be this great comeback, but it just felt anticlimactic because you only see it for one panel. This ending sucked. Deku suffered way too much for this to be his conclusion. Just because something slightly worse came out a little bit after doesn't excuse this. This ending was just fucking bad, man. Well, that's what I and many other people thought until Kohei Horikoshi took off his glasses, slicked his hair back, and revealed that he has been Aizen the entire time. With the release of the My Hero Academia Epilogue, Chapter 431, or the official final chapter, where we get to see a glimpse of the heroes' lives as full-grown adults and pro-heroes, something that the previous chapter was heavily lacking. But I'd say this epilogue was really fucking good. Not only does it show that Class 1A are still close friends and living a good life, Bakugo drives a fucking Porsche, but it also shows that Deku was able to become a hero alongside being a teacher, which he says he actually enjoyed. Which was needed because the last chapter made it seem like he was fucking depressed. But not only that, he isn't lonely in the end. He actually gets with someone at the end of the series. Deku and Ochako actually get together at the end. And thank fuck, because all of these scenes would have been for nothing if otherwise. There would have literally been no fucking point in these romance scenes if they didn't get together in the end. So for that, Kohei Horikoshi, I apologize. Izuku Midoriya, I apologize. I'll put the fries in the bag. They spun back on every allegation. He's a hero in the end, he got a go in the end, he gets respect from the world in the end, and everyone from Class 1A was able to achieve their dreams of being heroes in the end. My Hero Academia has finally achieved the fitting ending it genuinely deserved. I'm proud of you lot, man. I practically grew up watching this back in 2018, so it's nice to know that all these characters got the happy ending that they all earned. Well, unfortunately, not everyone liked the ending as much as I did. In fact, some people are actually quite upset. And I think the word upset might be a bit of an understatement. The worst possible outcome. This chapter is the absolute worst possible outcome. Really? Out of everything that could have possibly happened to you on this day, a fictional character getting with another fictional character is the worst possible outcome. Really? Fully grown adult screaming and crying at a phone screen because of a fucking drawing. To be honest, since it's the My Hero fandom, I'm not even fucking surprised. Now, when it comes down to weird, odd fandoms, there will be a first few that will hop into your mind. Like My Little Pony fans, FNAF fans, Undertale fans, Dream fans, Sonic fans. There are a lot of weird fucking fans. But for me personally, the first thing that hops into my mind is the My Hero fandom. Now, I'm not saying it's the worst because I do think that is up to debate, but I think it is one of the worst. But it is one that I personally fucking hate because I watched the My Hero fandom crash and burn in real time, and it actually changed the entire image of My Hero Academia. Even me now saying the words My Hero, you're probably thinking of bright colors and Deku giving a hug to everyone. Like, fucking no. My Hero is brutal, dark, and gory. It's not a femboy furry anime, even though that is what the fandom would later shape it into. MHA has been dragged like an old man's ball sack by the internet, all thanks to these lot. Yeah, thanks, mate. But I'm not gonna act like Horikoshi is completely innocent. But overall, My Hero's reputation was in the fucking shithole for a long time. It just wasn't good to be a casual viewer of My Hero. Season 6 was a snooze fest, Deku's Batman arc was a snooze fest, the ending was fucking terrible, and the fandom was running it into the ground. MHA had it rough, man. And people just moved on to different things, like JJK, but their fandom got so fucking bad that they restricted my video. Still mad about that. Fucking assholes. But till this day, I still think the biggest thing wrong with My Hero is definitely the fandom. And I mean, I know it's easy to say, oh, just ignore them, man. Just ignore the videos. Watch the show, ignore them. And I guess, yes, you could do that. But it's a little difficult when the show looked like this before they showed up and this after they showed up. Wow. But the world is healing because these guys have moved on to different series, Jujutsu Kaisen, and now My Hero can actually breathe and is somewhat good again. Season 7 is the best season since season 3. Like, this shit was fucking good. Even though I feel like it didn't go as crazy as it did in the manga, I still feel like it did a good job and completely shits on everything that season 6 did. Funny, innit? The second MHA fans piss off to another anime, the MHA anime only gets better. Or maybe it's just me, I don't know, maybe I'm the problem, because the idea of me and this dickhead watching the same thing really does dull my enjoyment. But overall, season 7, great fucking job, guys. My Hero Academia is finally back in the swing of things, is what I'd like to say, but unfortunately the internet is never that considerate. Every single time a new weird fandom pops up out of nowhere, I always compare it back to MHA, and I always think that this is way worse than My Hero. Like, My Hero fans would never do this. And every single time I've done it, they've come back and done something worse. Every single time. It's like they want to be solidified as the worst fandom of all time. Now, besides pouring their periodic liquid onto posters and I don't even know what the fuck this is, and I don't want to know. My god, please do not fucking tell me. But the main thing this fandom is known for is the constant shipping culture. We've all heard of it, we are all very aware of it, and we all know how bad it can get. Now, I just want to say this first and foremost, I don't give a shit. I don't fucking care. If you want to ship the fucking grape guy and the acid girl and make them have a kid called Grape Acid, I don't give a monkey's balls. I don't care. Even though I do think that some ships are just fucking wrong for several reasons, it doesn't actually affect me as a viewer because the stuff you think of in your head isn't actually in the show. Like, if you write an All Might Deku fanfic, I will be disgusted. But I don't really care because I'm not gonna fucking read it. Now, this isn't a crazy uncommon thing. You'll see this in most fictional medias where there are elements of romance. People shipping two characters who they think will get together at the end of the series isn't out of the ordinary. It only gets weird once you decide to enforce your personal ships onto everyone and get genuinely upset in real life and fucking cry when the author doesn't implement it. Everyone, I would like to introduce you to the My Hero fandom. Now, yes, this fandom is known for shipping anyone and everyone, but there is one single ship that they are known for. The main character Deku and his main rival Bakugo. And there are others like Todoroki and that fucking blonde guy and basically any male character you can think of. But the one the fandom loves to promote the most is these two, as it was labeled MHA's #1 ship. Once again, you can ship who you fucking want, mate, as long as you can understand that it is in your head. It is your headcanon and has nothing to do with the actual series. But I do partially blame myself for expecting My Hero fans to be somewhat logical, because with hindsight, we can see that in the end, Deku gets with Ochako, with their ending being sprinkled throughout the entire series, and anyone with an IQ over 5 could have seen this coming. It's too bad most MHA fans have an IQ 2 points below that, because they are actually surprised at this. And some of these fans are so mentally unstable that not only are they surprised, but they're having genuine mental breakdowns over this. And you wouldn't have believed me if you didn't see this with your own eyes, but here you go. These people are fucking nuts. And for context, this woman is almost 3 years older than me, screaming and crying over a fucking drawing. I couldn't make this up even if I wanted to. But there are people crying genuine tears, bashing their heads against walls, and actively screaming because Deku got a go in the end. I know it really is a grass is green take, but the My Hero fandom is fucking insane. These lot actually need to be admitted somewhere. My god, this is not normal behavior. Now this is a big wall of text followed by someone crying in the background, which I'm not reading all of that, but I'll read a little bit. Dude, the My Hero epilogue makes me physically sick. And not because of Izuku and Ochako, but because of Bakugo. Let's be real, Izuku probably never loved Bakugo in a romantic way, but Bakugo probably did. No, probably not, mate. I'm gonna be honest. You know, there's a concept of being friends. You know, that's a thing, right? Which they barely were. Bakugo used to bully the shit out of Deku. They didn't become chill until like season 3. These people will read so much fanfic that they will get confused with actual canon. So much so to the point where they will feel physically sick when it doesn't translate to the actual manga. Holy shit, it's a shonen anime. It's not that serious. The ships aren't supposed to be taken this seriously.
Guys, this news cannot be true. Izuoha cannot be canon. I loved Bakudeku more than my life.
I loved Bakudeku more than my life. Oh my god.
I just don't know what to do with my life anymore. If they're canon, then that means I can't do anything anymore. I can't just act like it's gonna be okay. They were my fave ship, and now it's not gonna happen.
You're joking, right? You no longer know what you want to do with your life because two fictional boys didn't get together. Are you serious? The MHA fandom reaches new heights of insanity every single day. Honestly, at this point, it's kind of impressive. They have somehow managed to get worse than this. Somehow. Your actual real life has lost purpose because the ship you knew was never gonna happen didn't happen. Fucking hell.
Okay guys, I'm here to report the news on this very gloomy day. This is the worst possible outcome for both Bakudeku and Togachaku shippers. Because not only do we get pretty much implied Izuocha that they're gonna talk and possibly get together in the future, we also get Wingman Bakugo. We get Bakugo encouraging Deku to talk to Ochako. Because I'm sorry, even if Izuku is straight, you can't tell me that Bakugo is, and that Bakugo's not a little in love with him.
Well, I personally can't. But the author can, through his work, and therefore I can by reading his work. He is not. Just because two people show compassion for one another doesn't mean they have romantical feelings. To anyone who actually watches the show and doesn't read fanfic, it's pretty fucking obvious that they are rivals. I know having media literacy is quite rare nowadays, but considering it's the My Hero fandom, we can't be too surprised.
Plus, we literally got this scene, which is Ochako being haunted by Toga even after 8 years.
Well, I mean, if you indirectly killed someone at age 16, you'd probably be pretty haunted too. And that's the whole point of this scene. She's guilty about being happy with someone else because she took a life, and then open your fucking eyes and read. Jesus Christ.
But yet she still is acting like she's in love with Deku. Girl, get out of the closet now!
It's not an act, you dipshit.
I fell in love with these Tsukumi-toria! I fell in love with these Tsukumi-toria!
It's obvious they're purposefully ignoring this because if Bakugo said this shit about Deku, it would be on the front pages of the Baku-Deku ship, like everyone would be losing their mind. But no one gives a shit because it doesn't play into their delusions, so who cares?
Like, I'm sorry, but this was my Togachaku Academia. This was not my Izuocha Academia.
They met 3 times and 2 out of the 3 she tried to kill her! Did we watch the same fucking show? I feel like we're talking about 2 different shows here. Yes, Toga's affection might have been strong, but saying that it was reciprocated is just a fucking lie.
But, like, time and time again, I say that I don't mind Izuocha, but this is just the worst possible outcome because of how it happened. Bakugo encouraging Deku to talk to Ochako.
Yeah, that's kind of what friends do.
And then Izuku saying, everyone's special, but he wanted to talk to Ochako more. Like, get over your high school crush. This is pathetic. Like, I'm sorry. Horikoshi, you did not cook today. Put down the pen.
So you told Deku to get over his high school crush as you plead for him to get with someone he met in elementary. Which is in fact before high school, if you didn't know. I can't tell anymore because you're so fucking retarded. You genuinely need to stop mixing your fanfic with actual canon because it's affecting your ability to consume the media. The only reason why you think Horikoshi's writing is bad now is because he didn't play into your delusional shit. Because I know for a fact that if Horikoshi killed off all of 1A, made Deku homeless, and cut off both Bakugo's arms, but the final panel is Baku Deku in bed together, then you'd do backflips, mate. You'd say that's the best shit written since fucking Shakespeare, so I don't want to hear it. And for context, yes, this is the same girl who was having a mental breakdown at Deku not getting with Bakugo. She has been very vocal about her disapproval of this chapter. But here's a bonus clip of her telling her dad, and yes, his existence did surprise me too, that Baku Deku isn't canon.
How was Thanksgiving with Grandma?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I mean, wish you girls would have been there, but
Is your food really salty still?
Skip.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And then like, yeah, video, right? And like you were on. And like we're like saying some things about you.
Let me show you why I was crying. Why don't you take a look at the My Hero leaks? Tell me your thoughts on this.
Oh my gosh. It's literally the worst possible outcome.
I know.
It's literally the worst possible outcome.
You're in your fucking 60s, mate. Who gives a shit that Deku has a fucking girlfriend? Pay your fucking mortgage, you idiot. You're beyond being a grown-ass man. You look older than my dad. And given that she's older than me, you probably are. Grow up, you brainless nugget. Grow the fuck up.
Bakudeku's not canon.
It's literally the worst possible outcome.
It's okay. It's gonna be okay. I promise. It's gonna be okay.
I mean, you gotta give him some points for pretending to give a shit. I personally wouldn't have bothered at all. Well, it's either that or mental retardation runs in the family. To which, once again, they are My Hero fans, so I wouldn't completely rule out the possibility. Now, as we can all visibly see, these guys are a little bit upset about the My Hero ending. It's not quite the Baku Deku fantasy that they always dreamed of. These guys have had better days. They are, in fact, so distraught at this ending that there is a movement to change your profile picture to this. Deku and Ochako's get-together moment with a line through it. I think it's pretty safe to say that they did not appreciate this tender moment. But for those of you guys who don't read manga, which is probably a lot of you, typically when a manga is popular, it's commonplace for some panels to leak a few days prior to the chapter's official release. And that's what happened with the final MHA chapter. It leaked, and that was what people were reacting to. But these people were so distraught and deluded that they genuinely convinced themselves that this chapter wasn't even real. And spoiler alert, it is. It's very real. It was written, drawn, and made by Horikoshi and is the final page of all of My Hero. No spin-offs, no sequels. This is the end whether you like it or not. But for the few days this thing leaked, they genuinely didn't think it was real. They thought it was AI. There was an entire hoax where people were pointing out like weird things and saying, oh, this is so fake, this is so wrong. I think I saw someone say that Horikoshi doesn't even draw like this, to which, are we looking at the same thing? So let me quickly just go over all these claims.
Is it just me or does something feel off about the leaks? How come Horikoshi forgot Izuku's scars?
Because his hair grew over it. It was on the side of his eyebrow and not the fucking front.
Why does Drew have her other ear?
That's not her ear. Those are headphones.
Why does the style look weird?
It looks the same as it always fucking has.
Where are y'all getting these leaks from? Why would Horikoshi randomly make an Izuka panel after they barely interacted for 8 years? Please someone give me answers. I'm going insane.
Saying that you're going insane over two people who aren't even fucking real getting together is a bit weird. But to answer your question, he's the author and can do whatever the fuck he wants with his own series. And you can't get upset at that, even though if you were paying attention, this outcome would be obvious.
Guys, if you're like me and you've been seeing this swirling around and you think it's real, I'm here to reassure you. This entire page of manga is not real and is fan-made.
No, it's not. If you buy MHA Volume 42 and you go to the end, you will find these panels. Even though this video was made before it officially released, I still think this video is fucking funny.
The quality's bad, but we gotta work with what we have. Okay, specifically look at Izuku's face. Every one of them looks different, but he looks the most noticeably different. Katsuki's eyes look different. Kirishima's facial expression looks different, but specifically Izuku's face, that is not Horikoshi's style. Look at the wide eyes, look at the chubby cheeks.
The fact that she is 100% serious is genuinely concerning. It's for comedic effect, you fucking idiot. Authors do it all the time. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's supposed to show the unseriousness of the character. How do you not understand this? You're older than me.
And now if you guys really want to get into my theory, I might not even think this is real either. There's a few reasons. The first being that it's consistent with the style that I'm showing you in the fake leak from the first panel and not consistent with the photos taken from like somebody's laptop. This looks nothing like how Horikoshi has been drawing Izuku. For reference, let me pull out chapter 430 Izuku. This is how Izuku has been drawn. That looks nothing like Izuku was drawn in the last chapter. Why would Horikoshi switch up so much? And look, I find a lot of things fishy about the final chapter, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, immediately when I saw this yesterday morning, I thought it was fake.
No, your immediate reaction was to scream and cry, but close enough.
I'm not believing really any of this or taking any of it at face value. And I'm certainly not believing that Izuku rejected Katsuki's offer to join his agency, because that would be the biggest butcher to Izuku's character, and so out of character, like I can't even put it into words.
Well, not really, if you fucking read it, which I don't think you can do at this point. When anyone starts a hero agency in My Hero, they are the main hero, and anyone who joins it would become their sidekick. There was literally an entire arc in the anime where students would join heroes and work as sidekicks. The fact that you think it would be in character for Deku to willingly become a sidekick is retarded. But I guess that would be in character for you. And of course there were other claims of this being AI, like Bakugo's teeth are drawn weird and his hands are drawn weird. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. How delusional can a fandom be? Just swallow the pill and admit to yourself that Deku isn't a little femboy who likes Bakugo, and your ship has fucking sunk. It's over. The final panels are Deku getting with Ochako. That is it. I know it might be tough seeing your delusions fade, and I know the first stage of grief is denial, but you have to let it go, man. It's not that serious. It's a shonen anime. I expected them to be upset, but not this much. Jesus Christ. Now, once this chapter officially released, people weren't too happy. They were forced to realize that this was real and wasn't AI, and Horikoshi did write it, and that then led to some interesting reactions. But the most vocal crowd were the people on Twitter, because they're known for being reasonable at times like this. So reasonable, in fact, that they mass blocked Horikoshi on there. A very calm response, if you ask me. I mean, oh no, whatever will the nearly 40-year-old man in Japan do when a bunch of American girls block him on Twitter? Oh no. Oh heavenly lord, this is too cruel. I can't watch. Oh no. Who gives a shit? Who fucking cares? He probably doesn't even read any of your tweets in the first place. But unfortunately, that does not stop them from tweeting at him. I don't think I've seen anyone get this attacked for making a fucking series. Like, on the surface, there's nothing wrong here. Of course, there are a few critiques I would make, but this is a solid manga. It's pretty obvious that the main problem that people have here is that Deku got with Ochako and everything else is a minor point. Like, I've seen people genuinely get mad and saying, oh, Bakugo looks so sad, he didn't smile once. When does Bakugo ever smile ever? His base emotion is mad as shit. Like, I'm pretty sure the only time he ever smiled in the series was when he was fighting, doing some devious shit, or when he was literally fucking dying. And he was doing none of those, so he's not gonna fucking smile. You know what? I'm glad these people exist, because as dumb as I may be, there are still people who are way dumber. So thank you for showing me that there are bars of stupidity that I will never reach, because these lot actually think that tweeting at a guy who made a manga is gonna make a difference. So let's see what they say, shall we? Deku rejecting Bakugo's agency made me sick to my stomach. Please rewrite this. Please don't tell me this is real. I know you don't like happy endings, but can you make a happy version, please? You know, mate, I don't know if you read this, but they seem pretty happy to me, you know, they seem pretty happy here. And you said that you like Bakudeku, but no, you decided to make the others canon. I'm not pushing you into anything, but this is very offensive. How the fuck is this offensive in any way? What? Horikoshi, please, if they forced you to write this ending, try hint it in your next sketch. I believe in you. I know you wouldn't give us such an outrageous ending out of your own will. Speak up, King. We'll support you. Jesus Christ. I trust you, and then you did that for us? That's not fair. And all the things that you gave us meant nothing. So you're telling me all of this was purely casual? Yeah. Also, look at this guy's fucking name, bro. MHA 431 doesn't exist. How about, instead of wasting all your time getting pictures of Bakugo and Deku, you get off Twitter and you take a fucking shower. You smell, man. You smell. The ending of MHA is deeply rooted in misogyny, and we put far too much hope in a man. At the end of the day, Horikoshi is a man, and of course he's going to give his main guy the go in the end. It's character assassination and shitty writing, but we were naive to expect more. So you guys love and support my hero for years, but the second Deku gets with a girl he's foreshadowed to get with from episode fucking 3, it's now shit all of a sudden. Yeah, okay. And does anyone actually know what misogynistic means? How the fuck is Deku expressing his feelings to a girl misogynistic? Do you need to bash your head against a wall and kill off half your brain cells before you can tweet? Or are these people just really fucking stupid? Or is it a mix of both? I feel like it's a mix of both. My Izuku would literally tear up after hearing Karchan tell him to join his agency. My Izuku would have said yes without hesitation. Mutant Izuku simply put a smile on his face while rejecting the boy that almost gave up everything for him. Well, it's a good thing that your Izuku doesn't fucking exist, because that is headcanon. Izuku from episode 1 would never be anyone's sidekick ever. If you actually tried to watch the series for more than anything that isn't a ship, then you would know this. It is clear that the addition of chapter 431 was requested late and done without soul, full of graphic errors and written as if Izuku was lobotomized. You can't tell me that in 8 years the villains disappeared and Izuku gave up on his dream for no reason. Now, of course, this person is chatting out their asshole, because as we see here, Izuku is still a hero, and no one said villains disappeared. They only stated that the amount of villains decreased ever since All For One was defeated. But we're gonna ignore all that, because if you open up this person's account, you will be met with Bakudeku. So I think I found the real reason why this person is not too fond of the ending. This isn't queerbaiting, this is just plain homophobia. No, it isn't. If you decided to make Izuwacha canon, then why you don't show it at the beginning?
I fell in love with these Sukumi Toria!
Read, nigga, read!
Even in the ending 430, there was no sign of canon. You knew that Deku Baku could bring in more money and readers, so you kept drawing them. There's that, or the fact that they are the two main characters. But in the pro page, you regret doing it and turn it into Izuwacha, right? I don't know what that means, but even if I did, I have a feeling it would still be some more horseshit. If Bakudeku is not canon, then I don't know what I'll do. Why the hell did those who didn't even interact become canon? Author, listen to your audience for once. The entitlement from these people, fucking hell. No, okay? No, the author does not need to listen to you. My Hero Academia is not your own personal fanfic, it's someone else's work. As the audience, you have no input and nothing you say should ever dictate the story. This isn't like a movie where there are multiple different directors and actors who can change the outcome of the film. This is one man's vision, and with no due respect, you have no say on how the story should go. You can critique it as much as you like, but don't cry and beg for him to put your stupid fucking fanfic in the main story. No, you didn't get queer baited, you're just retarded. You're looking for something that doesn't even fucking exist. It's not there. If you want to see two little boys get together, then read something else, not a shonen. That's like trying to find oil by milking a cow. You're not gonna get it.
I genuinely don't understand how it's so hard for some people to get why a lot of us reacted strongly to chapter 431.
Not many people can understand because you literally had a mental breakdown because two fictional characters didn't get together. Pretty odd behavior. And yes, this woman has several TikToks where she talks about this one fucking chapter.
Because you have to remember, the people that reacted strongly to this ending are queer and neurodivergent people. We saw ourselves in these characters, and it may be naive to look for representation in a shonen, but every single sign was pointing to us that this was the shonen that was going to break the status quo.
Oh my days. What the fuck are you talking about? Honestly, what are you talking about? You have all the fanfics in the fucking world. Why do you need it to be canon? It was never gonna happen. It was never going to happen. It's a battle shonen manga for young boys. How do I know that? Because shonen literally means young boy in Japanese. There's many other stories where they represent gay, queer, non-divergent, all that other stuff. But why are you searching for that in a shonen series about people with superpowers fighting other people with superpowers? It's usually a meme to make fun of My Hero fans, but honestly, you're a fucking dumbass.
And this didn't mean that we actually thought we were going to get Bakudeku as canon.
Well, you did. You're sitting here crying and moaning solely because it didn't happen.
But it also meant we didn't think we were going to get a heterosexual ship pushed upon us in the last pages of the story.
Oh, brother, just watch the show. It's all over the show. It's not fucking forced. It's been in the series since episode 3, season 1, and is sprinkled throughout the entire series. If I hear anyone say this one more time, I am going to kill myself.
And I find it so ironic that My Hero, of all shows, the show that so many queer and neurodivergent people have found identity with, is home to some of the most ableist, misogynistic, and homophobic people out there.
So if you think that Izuku and Ochako getting together at the end of the series was a good thing, then you are misogynistic, homophobic, and ableist. Yeah, fair enough. But a surprise to everyone is that Horikoshi actually made a response. Not to this kind lady in particular, but he wrote a response as to why he made the last chapter. I can't imagine why he felt the need, but I do have my speculations. Now I would read it all out, but I feel like I've already taken up way too much of your time as is, and I'm going to try and make this quick. I'll put it on screen for those of you guys who want to read it for yourself, but it's essentially a thank you to everyone who kept reading My Hero for all this time. The main story concluded after chapter 429. Chapter 430 was like a curtain pull, and chapter 431 was almost like a behind the scenes, and what the characters got up to after the main events of the story. Or in his words, turning off the camera and freeing the characters of their drama. But of course, when it comes to these deluded fans, they're not gonna see it that way. These lot are so dumb that they interpreted this as Horikoshi saying that this isn't canon. Yes. They are so dumb that they genuinely think that an epilogue means that it's not canon. I have rolled my eyes so many times today that they're close to falling out of my fucking skull.
Hey chat, I'm gonna explain what's happening with the leaks, since it's basically been confirmed now. The epilogue isn't canon. It was made by Horikoshi's team. That's why the drawings are a little off.
First of all, he didn't fucking say that. Second of all, even if that was true, it wouldn't matter. Whether he drew it or I drew it or you drew it, it doesn't make a difference because he published it in his manga, which means that it is canon. Nowhere in this letter does it say that his team drew it. And even if they did, it wouldn't fucking matter because it's in his manga, he published it, which means it's canon.
So basically, you can choose if you want the epilogue or not. Horikoshi only half wrote it and added it in as an alternative ending thing.
Bro, I can't with this fucking community. They're so stupid. Where does it say anywhere alternative ending? Where does it say that? It's literally in the physical copy of the manga, and it will be in the anime, and Horikoshi himself did write it, which means that it's not up to interpretation. It is the official ending. Whether you choose to believe it or not is completely irrelevant because this is how the story ends.
A lot of people are still trying to insist that chapter 431 is canon.
I shit you not. This one fucking lady has made like 50 TikToks on this one single chapter. Just give it a rest, man. You're doing too much.
But as somebody who's literally an English major, I can assure you that reading between the lines and actually analyzing what he said.
Fucking hell. English major here. Her comprehension skills must be very qualified. She can read in between the lines, guys. She's the one more qualified here. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna sit back and listen to the English major because she knows what she's talking about.
he's not trying to say that chapter 431 means anything to the actual main story. Like, first of all, it was advertised as an extra. It's an epilogue. It's a what if.
And the American school system fails us once again. A fully grown adult who's an English major and she doesn't even know what a fucking epilogue is. We are lost. This was never advertised as a what if. This is in the official manga, and they're the events that take place after the main story. Just because it takes place out of the main plot of the story doesn't mean that it's not canon. Someone who majors in English doesn't know this.
For lack of better words, it's Horikoshi's fanfic as to one possible way that these kids' lives could have went after graduating.
A Horikoshi fanfic. A Horikoshi fanfic. And the worst part is there are genuinely people out there who actually believe this. They genuinely think that this is a Horikoshi fanfic. Do you hear yourself, you fucking donut? He's the author. He's not a fan. He's the guy who fucking made it. Therefore, he can't make a non-canon fanfic. And furthermore, if he didn't want it to be canon, then he wouldn't have published it in the official manga. I feel like I'm just saying the same thing over and over again. You know, I think it's my turn to bash my head against a brick wall now.
The real final chapter is 429. That's all I need to know. The real final chapter is 429.
Yeah, I think I found the problem. You can't fucking read. Because right after that, it says that 430 was the curtain pole, and at the bottom it says that 431 is the behind the scenes. That just means that 429 was the conclusion of the main story and the rest were bonus stages. That doesn't mean it's not canon, that just means it takes place after the story. In other words, an epilogue. And for context, if 429 was the final chapter, then My Hero would end like this. And you wouldn't like that at all.
So yeah, this is not my canon, and you shouldn't claim it as your canon either if you don't want to. Let me assure you, chapter 431 is Horikoshi's what if fanfic.
The My Hero Fandom, everyone. Unable to read their own manga and unable to read basic English. Surprise, surprise, they're still retarded. The fact that one single chapter has made people this delusional is insane. I mean, we all knew these fans were mentally unstable, but honestly, this chapter is just proving it more and more. I fucking saw one TikTok where someone literally made a ritual because this chapter came out.
Escucha las palabras de las brujas, los secretos escondidos en la noche, los antiguos dioses invocamos a...
All this because an anime character touched the hands of a woman once. My god. The fact that people are genuinely surprised, crying, angry because Deku didn't get with Bakugo is just weird. They're cartoon characters, it's not fucking real. You don't need to take it this seriously. People saying they want to kill Deku, they hope Deku cheats on Ochako. Some people saying their entire year is ruined and that they've been physically sick. And some of them are saying they're genuinely suffering. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's a shonen manga for fuck's sake. It's not real. It is not real. I apologize for ever uttering the words that any fandom could possibly compete with this. JJK, Undertale, FNAF, everyone step the fuck aside. Because My Hero is and always will be the worst fandom of all time. But anyways guys, this is in fact the end of the video, and if you liked, please leave a like, and if you didn't, then feel free to degrade me in the comments. And holy hell, this one was a long one. I hope you guys enjoyed because I lost several days of sleep making this. And if you made it this far into the end of the video and you aren't subscribed, then just fucking do it, because I don't have any other convincing words in my vocabulary. Or, I mean, you don't have to. I can't physically force you. With all that said, all my links and socials are in the description. Feel free to follow me on anything. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. But until next time, make sure to drink your water and get enough sleep at night. Okay, goodbye.
No, this can't be! This can't be! Was it really just casual? Did it mean nothing?
Hey, look, Deku finally got his bitch! Wait, are you crying?
No! Horikoshi ruined My Hero with this generic shonen romance! This is not what we wanted! This is not what we deserved!
You are my conscience! My only
that I know. Yeah. Dial no, I gotta keep my fire on. Fire on. Yeah, my whip, I'm flying. That girl on my left. That bitch on my right on. Damn, your heels, they so high. Yeah, get your height on. Yeah, smoke that guy like Shaq. Told that guy